work, so I'll be able to be with you guys and take time to chat and have a great time with you guys.
And before we jump in the interview, I do have to say, because I do know we're going to be talking about this, but people that are just chiming in, letting everyone know that tomorrow you can catch Carl XL Leduc in action at TNA Slammiversary in Montreal, Quebec, during the pre-show, which is going to be a phenomenal 20-man over-the-top battle royale. I know we have sometimes people that come into the interviews, they come in, chime in, leave, and come back, so I want to bring it up at the beginning and make sure we bring it up at the end, that make sure you catch this pre-show, because tickets are now sold out for Slammiversary, but I will be there, so I'm looking forward to seeing Carl throw 19 people over that top rope and claim the victory.
I hope so. It's going to happen. I'm going to do my best, because I started my career in Verdun almost 29 years ago, and then probably it's going to be my last match or my last appearance in the ring as an active wrestler, because as people don't know, I'm not a full-time wrestler no more. I got a little family to take care, and we got to work to pay our bills, right? So, and since we're live now, I try to introduce myself. If the people that knows me or don't know me, my name is Carl XL Leduc, the Quebec wrestling terrorist. And tomorrow it's going to be Slammiversary, and it's going to be sold out. But before we talk about Slammiversary, I just want to say to the people, I'm not an employee of TNA. I don't have no contract with them. But the reason why I'm there, because it's in my own town, and then PCO gave me a call to help out with the ticket sales, with a little bit of promotion and everything, and I accepted, because I want to see my dad. That's going to be live. He's going to be there, front row, to see my last appearance in the ring. And I started with my dad as my manager at the same building at the Montreal Auditorium, and then it's going to probably be my last one. And I just want to make sure that people will enjoy it, and I wanted to see a full house, a sold out, as we call. And yes, we're going to be part of the pre-show. So like the pay-per-view start at 8 o'clock, and we're going to have a pre-show from 7 to 8 p.m. before the pay-per-view start at 8 p.m. And it's going to be before the pre-show. It's going to be at 6:30. It's going to be 20 people from Canada, basically from Montreal. PCO had that idea just to thank the people of Quebec, and also we're gonna have Mike Hart. He's going to be part of that Battle Royale, and then he's going to bring his partner. So I'm super stoked to have Michael one more time in the ring with me, because we feud back then at Pro Wrestling at 365, and now he's going to be back in my own town where Michael started his career with the FLQ. I'd say 25 years, 20, almost 24 years ago.
And I got to take you back to the past for a minute, because you have such a rich history, not only in Canada for Canadian professional wrestling, but professional wrestling in general. You were actually trained by the legendary, iconic Stu and Bruce Hart at the Hart Dungeon out there in Calgary, Alberta. I was wondering if you could tell us a story about how you got connected with Stu and Bruce, and of course, what was it like just training with them?
Okay, but as you know, like my family, I'm a second generation for the people that don't know, and for people who know. And then back in the 90s, I was called up by the WWF to come do some matches for them and everything, and to wrestle in each town. To do shows, and like to do shows in certain part of the area. But today they don't need no more of those kind of people. But when they called me up, I didn't know how to wrestle, and I was pushed in front of a live audience, in front of 18,000 people, and then I didn't know how to really wrestle. And then I ended up Owen took care of me when I was in the WWF, and then I had a great connection with him, and also he had a great Brett and Owen got a great respect for my family because in 1968 we go way back. Paul and Joe Leduc, my dad and my wrestling uncle, um, worked for Stu Hart, and then they reminded and they remembered that and everything. And then Owen told me, "Do you want a 20? You want a 6 month career or a 25-year career plus and everything? This is in this wrestling business, and also you got different position in wrestling, not necessarily in front of the camera in the ring as a wrestler, but all kind of sort of position." So I accepted his invitation there, and then he's the one who set me up at his dad. So I had a privilege and chance to live with the family for 4.5 years, and then got my training in in the dungeon, in the famous dungeon that's recognized worldwide, and also. I had a great connection until today. I speak with Bruce and with the family at least once a week. I still go visit them time to time and everything. And as a pro wrestler, it was well reputed. And if you want a career, most likely it was a pass through going there, you know. And unfortunately, I broke my leg really severely, and then and then and then I was training. I had a great connection with Bruce, and then I just remember what Owen told me, man. I have many positions in the wrestling business, so try to learn everything as you can. And I fall in love with the wrestling teaching. And then in 2001, I had to call. I call when I was finally ready. I had a call with the WWF, but I kind of refused it because I was so much passionate with the wrestling training, you know, the aspect of creating stars and training people. So that's what I developed most afterwards. And then I wrestled independently a little bit everywhere. But more likely, I concentrated myself on the training. And then I had a great bound with Bruce. And then from there, I went down to Kitchener, Cambridge, with Smith Hart. He had a wrestling school there, and Scotty Demore was the trainer and everything. And then Scotty had other things to attend, and he had no more time to train people there. So I became the head trainer there. And out of that school there, I trained my first guy who graduated, who did a professional career, and he did a good one. It was Eric Young, Showtime Eric Young back then was his name. And he was a major player in TNA, and today, and he went to NXT, went back to TNA, NXT. Now he's back again with TNA. I had the McAllister brothers, you know, and also at one point my dad's side of promotion in Quebec was FLQ, and he wanted me back and give him help and everything. So I try to, and I use all my knowledge and my baggage to bring that back in Montreal, and then we started the FLQ, and then from there, I set up a program before I left in Cambridge, and I had like an assistant trainer, and that assistant trainer continued what I was teaching and everything, and then you had guys like Sean Spear went through that place also. So yeah, and also in FLQ, we had Sami Zayn who started his kind of his career with us and everything, but I didn't train him. He was a self-trainee, and then and he wanted more, and you know, like the experience that I got, I can sometimes you'll meet some people and you'll get that feeling that this guy's going to become something, or he's going to be somebody, and you can see sometimes that people. I was able to most of the time said this one's going to make it, this one's not going to really make it, or depending how the connection was and how the feeling I had. And Sammy wanted to be main event at FLQ, but back then FLQ was a really local, you know, like city promotion and everything. And he used to wrestle with bowling shoes when he started under the name of Stevie McFly. So He walked up to me, I want to be main event and everything. I said, yeah, but I already got my stars in main event. Those people is going to stay local. When you want more, go buy yourself a pair of boots. And then I send them, and I suggest them to go to my competition. Because I knew you had more opportunity, and I told him that get as much as booking as you can. And that's the way you're going to improve and get yourself going. And that's what he did. And then look today, he's having a successful career. I'm not saying that I'm part of it or I help out or I did something, but sometimes just giving a little advice that can be that little thing that's going to, make you take off, because you can learn how to bump, but it's not only learning how to bump that you can't that you become a pro wrestler or a full around pro wrestler. It's a lot of sacrifice. You're leaving family behind, and that's what happened. And then he went on the road with Kevin, with KO and everything, and then he did his things, and today they're successful. So it's to become a professional wrestler and a successful one. It's piece by piece, left and right. And you got to learn as much as possible from everybody, not only one person, because it's not only one person who knows everything. It's a lot of people together that's going to help you to grow what you need to become a professional wrestler and make a living out of it full time, like those people that we see on TV.
And going back a few moments ago, where you actually spoke about Owen Hart and having a really great relationship with him, as we all know, Owen Hart is one of the most beloved and well-loved figures within the wrestling community.
Yes.
Still to today, I have never heard one person say anything bad about Owen Hart. It's always been positive. It's always been good. I have to ask you, a person that had the opportunity to live at the Hart Dungeon, live with Stu, what is one of your most fondest memories you shared with the late great Owen Hart, man? Because still one of the best technical wrestlers.
He was established back then when I was there, and then when you start in the wrestling business, you don't have too much money and everything, and he took me under his wing on the road and everything, and then he told me, he's like, listen, I'm gonna do a deal with you. I gotta respect, but one thing, I'm a self-made person and everything. I can pay my own hotel room and everything, but I know you don't have that much money, and on the road it could be expensive for people. So he said, I'm going to let you come. We'll be roommates in the room and everything. I'm not going to charge you a penny. I will not charge you a penny. But one thing, every dollar that you save, you got to give it back to your dad. So that was the deal for me, to be roommate with Owen, so I can have some money left on my checks when I was wrestling with the company. And also, and he's the one who set me up, introduced me, and suggested me to go at Bruce. And then from there, he used to come time to time and visit and see what was going on, and give me phone calls to see if everything was all right and everything. Give me advices until that we all know what happened to him afterwards, and it's really sad. It's until today it's still a tragedy. So yeah, that's what was my connection with Owen and everything.
And also as well, while you were actually on the road with Owen and everyone, in '96 you actually had the opportunity to wrestle multiple house shows for the then World Wrestling Federation, now known as WWE, with one of the matches actually being where you defeated Justin Hawk Bradshaw, now known to the world as JBL, at the Montreal Molson Center.
And where that he became a world champion. Yeah, but because back then I was a local and I was a name. Even if I didn't know how to wrestle, they put me over against those guys. And we heard a lot of story about JBL and everything, but for me, he was just being good. He protected me in the ring. And then, you know what, because of the way that he was setting up the match between us and everything, he made me look good, really good, and accepted to give me those victories. But I was not ready, and I probably didn't deserve back then the victory. But everything fall back on my name, on my last name, and everything, where that got me a lot of pressure. So, so I just want to say thank you to GBL, because man, he was good for me, man. Sometimes I was supposed to be in Canada. I was supposed to be the face and everything, but because I was going out with the Quebec emblems on my outfit and everything, and we all know like the war of separation, and then Quebec doesn't like Canada, Canada doesn't like Quebec and everything, and he was the heel, but the people were cheering for him. So he was smart enough, and he knew what he was doing back then, and then he was able to turn the crowd against him, so I can get back that pop as a face. So for me, I just got great word to say about this person there. He was really nice to me. Um, yeah, it was really nice to me, and he could have just destroyed me. He could have just refused to wrestle me, but he accepted. And without him, people will saw a lot of things I didn't know. They will see a lot of lacking stuff on my part in the ring because I didn't really know how to wrestle back then. It's just like you start playing for your dad was a player for the Toronto Maple Leaf or the Montreal Canadian, and then the next day you get caught up. I didn't got really a proper training or anything, and it happened so fast when I got that call up and everything. And after that, I went to Memphis for Power Pro Wrestling. His name was Randy Hale, the promoter back then, and Jerry Lawler was involved with that also. So yeah, I was like, I started at, at the last step of the ladder, and then I went back down to go back, to try going back up, and then at one point I said, you know what, let's stick with training people. That's what I'm good at, and let's do it. Let's help out a lot of people. So that's what I did. Train a lot of people in the wrestling business today.
And speaking of proper training as well, you actually were featured in the legendary documentary Wrestling with Shadows, where you were
Yes,
actually being stretched by Stu Hart. I have to ask, because I do know Stu Hart's training regimen was so tough. A lot of people did not
originally,
make it through Stu's training.
no, and I puked a lot of few times and everything. All that happened for that documentary there. It's the first day I came in, and I live at the Hart House. I was having cup of tea every night with Stu in his kitchen. But I say Stu, but me I always wanted to say Mr. Hart, and still today I call him still Mr. Hart, and I still respect that man till today. Because for me, he's Mr. Hart, but people call him Stu. But me, I'll refer him to Mr. Hart. That's and we'll be talking about Stu Hart. Um, and then he was telling me I don't stretch no more, man. I don't do that thing and everything. Probably I didn't got the respect yet and everything. And he came in the dungeon a few times to see our workout and everything. And then I remember my first stretching for 6 months. I was harassing him to get stretched and everything because I wanted to have that badge of honor, right? And then one day, um, uh, the Hart family organized a barbecue at their house during the Stampede, NU House Stampede pay-per-view, Calgary Stampede. Um, and then we had like a lot of people out there, a lot of wrestlers out there. We had the Calgary Stampeders, players out there, coaches. Um, and then he called me up in the living room. He said, remember 6 months ago when you asked me to get yourself stretched? And I said, no, but now it's time. Get on the floor. So I got my first stretching in front of all those guys. And my first stretching, I passed out because I didn't want to, I had so much pride and everything, you know? And then, until that don't squill, he was putting on the pressure and the pressure until that I passed out. And afterward, we had that Brett was doing a documentary, and he came and he showed up to the camp, and he was asking the next morning, early in the morning, we're gonna have a documentary, and then we want to show the craft of my dad of stretching a person. If somebody wants to show up, they're more than welcome. Then the next morning came up, and then came up, and I was the only first guy from only the guy from that camp who show up and everything. And then that's when I got that part, and I was in documentary, and I did that stretch, and nobody else wanted to be part of that. And then me, I said, man, it's an occasion. It's gonna be visibility and everything, and at least if I don't make it back or something like that, it's gonna be a piece that's gonna people will be talking for years and for years, and that's where I got a reputation of a tough guy afterwards.
And I have to ask, when you said everyone else didn't show up, was it because they didn't want to be in front of the camera, or was it because they didn't want to pass out from Stu Hart?
But some of them said, yeah, Mr. Hart was too old. It's not going to be good for my career if I accepted doing that and everything. But for the rest, I don't know. We should have asked them, you know. But one thing that I know that Brett respected that, and he told me, he said, you'll see, that's going to help you out to get bookings in the future. It did help me out to get some bookings back then, because in the wrestling business, you gotta try to get as much visibility as you can. You gotta make your name circulate. If you don't, if you stay home and wait for a call, nobody's gonna come and get you. You gotta go out there, you gotta go knock on doors. And I'm saying that for everybody who wants to try to have a career and is listening to this show right now, that if you stay home, nobody's gonna come and get you. You know, you gotta go to the gym. You gotta sacrifice. If you want to go on tour, cross-sea like in Europe or England and everything, invest on your first plane ticket. They're not gonna pay you a plane ticket, hotel, plus a nice payoff. If you wanna make it at first, invest in yourself. It's anything else. When some people open up companies, they invest. They don't wait to be rich the first day or get a return on the first day. They put a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of work to make it happen, you know. And if you do the proper effort and the right thing, then you will have that call up one day, you know. Because you know, so many out there, but only few they're chosen. And the people that you're chosen, if you talk to them and you see what they had to do to become that person, if you see that person and like his journey to make it happen there, you'll see, man, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So I suggest to everybody who wants to make it, you got to make your name circulate. If you stay locally or you stay provincially, if for your American or across the world listener, when I say province, it's kind of a states in the United States. So, yeah, you got to invest in your money. And from there, when you cross sea, you hook up with promoters, and then you get yourself booked a little bit everywhere and everything. And if you're smart and you got a good crowd reaction, then you can sell your merch and get your money back for having your plane ticket. And then your plane ticket will be paid off for your investment, and then you're starting to get your name circulate. You know, more of your name circulating in the business, more chance you're upgrading yourself to get signed. So, you know, usually when you start in the wrestling business, back then that was taught. It was like you need to get your name out there under the radar after 2-3 years, you know. But sometimes people take 10 years, but they're on the radar, but they don't have any spot open, but they keep continuing. But some people stop. So if you stop, they're not going to come and get you, because you know what? Somebody else is going to replace you. You know, you're the flavor of the month every day, man. You know, and to make it happen, you got to be the flavor of the month every single day and put that hard work. You know, it's not yes, the training, the bumping is really important. It's the basic. You gotta learn the basic, but after that, you got the other aspect of the wrestling business that you gotta learn to make it happen. You know, it's a lot of sacrifices. All those guys that made it, they're all gonna tell you they started with no money. Most of them, you know, no money, and they invested so much money. You know, drive like 10 hours to get a $25, $50 payoff, you know. and then you have to pay your gas. You got to find a way to pay your hotels and everything. But that is part of your journey to make it happen one day. But a lot of people don't want to do that sacrifice, you know. And the people that do, I'm repeating a lot of myself, but it's really important to understand that wrestling business, it's a hard business, and it's difficult. And if you want to make things happen, you gotta work. You gotta work your butt off.
And also, as well, speaking of working your butt off, June 9th of 2000, you actually won the Stampede International Tag Team Championship alongside Duke Durango. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about this tag team title win, and of course, what was it like working alongside Duke?
Time there, Duke Durango, his name is Jordan Clark and everything. Yeah, because Bruce restarted kind of Stampede Wrestling under the name of WOW WOW. World Organization of Wrestling and everything, and I guess that Bruce saw the chemistry or something like that, and we won the belt against Pistol Pollock and Johnny Levine, who had a great career in TNA. So we will have to ask Bruce why, but back then also I was not wrestling under the name of Paul Leduc. Bruce got a broken tooth, and then Bruce loved to, and then saw an idea and everything, and then I had a face that looked like kind of a Frankenstein, and then he called me up. He called me François Einstein. So when you say François Einstein, quickly it reminds you of Frankenstein. So that's why it became kind of a Frankenstein thing. Nothing compared to what PCO does. You know, we got to give him a hat up for PCO, because what he did with his character, reinventing himself in 2018 afterwards, it's incredible. And also, if I can take a break from and talk about PCO, this guy was 3 times WWE World Tag Team Champion with his partner as the Quebecers, and then he became Jean-Pierre Lafitte. He had his famous feud with Bret Hart, and until today, Bret says in his top 10 best matches that he had against him. And after a while, he disappeared and everything, did some local stuff and everything, and then he still got that passion and the desire, even if he was 3-time World Tag Team Champion. In 2018, he left Montreal in his car, drove all the way to Texas. I think that was in Texas, and then wrestled against Walter, but now today his name is sorry, help me out. His name is I'm looking foolish today because I'm really tired. Gunter, sorry about that, Gunter.
Gunter,
you have to drove all those miles, all those miles to get there, pay his own way there, and wrestle. And then you know what? That put him back on the map, and then it became the biggest wrestling comeback, you know, of pro wrestling. I never saw like a comeback like that in pro wrestling. And afterward, he went to ROH, became world champion, because PC, when he got a goal in mind, when he got something in his head, he's going to do everything to make it happen. And you see, he was popular, he was famous, but after a while, if your name not circulating, you still got to restart over. And that's what he did. He accepted to restart that over. You know, he could say, nah, it's not worth it. But he took a risk. He bet on himself. And now today, after that, he had a successful career in ROH. He brought that Frankenstein gimmick to a level that I don't think that nobody will be able to match that. And also, and then he went to TNA. And then what's happening? We're having Slammiversary in Montreal. Everybody doubted him. That's going to be sold out. People will say we're going to have only 1,000 people, even if you're lucky, guys. But PCO, man, during that last 3 months, 2.5 months. He compressed it like 2 months of work, 8 months of work in 2 months, and 2 months of promotion. And they did a lot of interviews. He went left and right, go shake hands, go to local wrestling shows, sell tickets, sell pictures, multiplying the interviews on the radio, left and right, deliver himself some tickets, just like I did. I delivered tickets to people, go knock on their door. Here's a ticket, take a picture, put it on the social media. It's a lot of work. People think that the Slammiversary was easy work. No, it's a lot of work, a lot of work. What TNA did with PCO, and yeah, we gotta give him his badge of honor. What he accomplishing, and this weekend's gonna be a fantastic and a great weekend. The house gonna be packed, and also he's gonna bring alongside his manager, Distro, his creator. We call him Distro. That he's gonna be coming out to the ring with him, and I don't know if it's a sport or not, but they're working on something for the entrance that's going to be amazing for everybody that will be watching on TNA Plus on the pay-per-view, or they're going to be live at the Montreal Auditorium. So that's going to be something really, really special, and congrats to PCO and TNA for bringing this event in Montreal, because Montreal, just like Toronto or anywhere else, like Calgary, if we're talking about Canada-wise, Montreal used to be a mecca of pro wrestling. And if people don't know, I'm second generation. I come from the Leduc brother family, Paul and Joe Leduc. I think I mentioned it again at the beginning of the interview, but still I want to repeat it if some people just jumped in the interview and everything. And then the Leduc brothers was really successful, and they had a great career. After Joe had a really great, awesome career also on the solo, but as a tag team, they accomplished great things as well. And then that's why I got my passion there from wrestling. That's how I started pro wrestling, by just watching Joe Leduc. I didn't watch my dad. I didn't have the chance to see him live. I just see videotapes left and right, because he stopped wrestling when I was born. So yeah, and then also my dad, he started his career in Mexico as a Roman, and I think he was in the 60s. So I think he was the first. I don't know if I'm going to send you pictures afterwards if you want to put it on your website and everything of that picture. My dad was as a Roman, and he was walking out to the ring with a dog in Mexico. So, and after that, he met Joe Leduc, and he became the Leduc brothers, the Lumberjack, and then and they had like a lot of, and their biggest feud was against the Vachon. Paul the Butcher Vachon, who just passed away lately. Rest in peace, Paul. And then we had with his brother Mad Dog Vachon, that people that everybody knows Mad Dog Vachon is. So a lot of feud in Quebec, across Canada, and the States against those two guys and everything. So yeah. And also one more thing, my dad. Yeah, and in 1971. Sorry if I caught you off. My dad. Yeah.
Oh, it's all good.
I think he's also, again, the first wrestler to get himself married in the ring. In 1971, my dad got married at the Montreal Forum, where the Montreal Canadian hockey team won 24 Stanley Cup. That's a mystic building, just like the Madison Square Garden or the Maple Leaf Garden back then. You know, it's a mystic place for us, for the fan. And he married himself in front of 18,000 people in the ring with my mom, and that was a big celebration out there.
And just going back to PCO for a few moments, I got to definitely give him his props, because he, like you said, he went out of his way. I will say Slammiversary is sold out because of PCO. That's my honest opinion.
But it's
I know
teamwork.
TNA has.
You go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, it's all good. I was going to say also, too, people don't realize that this is a history making pay-per-view for Montreal itself as a city, but this is also a history making pay-per-view for PCO, because a lot of people don't realize that PCO has wrestled in a lot of companies, done thousands of matches, but this is his very first televised wrestling match in his hometown of Montreal, Quebec. So I know PCO is going to kick AJ Francis' ass up and down the ring, up on the ramp. I feel sorry for AJ Francis, because PCO can literally can wrestle circles around many young talent. He is built like a brick shithouse. Excuse my language, but
he's not human. But the sacrifice that he did, people don't even know what his workout is all about, And to find time to what he did for the promoting that event, it's unbelievable. It's incredible and everything. Yes. PCO accomplished great things for that pay-per-view. It's his own town. You want to be proud. And I got to remember, everybody doubted him that he will not be able to sold out the place. And I think it's going to be the biggest crowd since Hulk Hogan, I think, there when he was in TNA. So, and then also, since that Slammiversary is kind of the WrestleMania for TNA, he took pride. Really, he took pride to make things work and make it happen, and to be a sold out. Like the hours and the time that he put in, it's unreal. I don't even know where he got time to sleep, because he still got to do his workout, and he had to go fly out and fly back in, because they had like televised tapings to do. So during the last 2 months, he was doing back and forth the States, go do the taping for TNA shows, and also afterwards, just to take care of the promotion there, calling everybody. And everybody was important to him around him. He took time to talk. He gave his time to everybody in the city. And if you need him to do something, he was there, So, yeah, PCO did a fantastic, great job. And I'm excited to be part of that, to give him help. And I hope that everything is going to turn out great. Because, like show business, it's hard business. And, sometimes people don't know what's going on behind the scene, And you guys, that's going to be coming, it's going to be coming to the Montreal Auditorium, or watching the product on TNA Plus. The work behind the scene that is made, man, it's a lot of, right now, the last 48 hours, it's a lot of boom, 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 fixing stuff. Oh, okay, we thought that's going to work, but that's not going to be working. Let's replace that by that. It's a lot of running around, a lot of work, a lot of people into it. And also, like the wrestlers going to the media, arriving in town a few days before, and give their time for interviews, and get themselves, and also they got to get themselves ready and be in shape, still in shape, People think, oh, it's an easy job, a pro wrestler, but you need to sleep, eat, and train. But the travelings take a toll on your body, and for some of them, it's changing like time zones. So a lot of people are on jet lag, and to be able to perform like they're going to be performing on Saturday, it's incredible. It is incredible. It's, I don't know, man. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, Sometimes you want to, like me Saturday, I know what the work was done and who did the work and everything. And me, I'll be, after my match, I'm going to be sitting in the crowd, and I'm going to become a fan, and I'm going to see the hard work that's going to be done by all those performers.
I got to say, I'm super excited as well. I'm going to be one out of 4,000 people. So
you're going to be live. So you'll be watching on TV, or you're coming to the arena?
I got my tickets the day they dropped. Once I heard Slammiversary was coming to Montreal, I'm in Ottawa, so literally 2 hour drive as a rep.
It's about half an hour, 2 hour max driving there. I hope I'm gonna have a chance
so
to meet. I'm gonna take time to come and see you and meet you and shake your hand and everything.
I appreciate that, man. I'm going to be there for the pay-per-view and for the TV taping. I actually got tickets for the Autograph Fest. I got titanium perk tickets. My bank account was not a fan of me, but I was a fan of the money that I used. So my bank was hurting a little bit, but it was worth it.
As a fan and everything, it's going to be a great investment. I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed there. A lot of things going to be happening. And let's not forget, let's talk about, if you give me time, let's talk about on Sunday, PCO is gonna get himself. He's gonna be celebrating a marriage with Steph Delander. So they're gonna get married in the ring Sunday, and also Sunday PCO is gonna have a big match against Moose. So he's gonna go through AJ apologize for that. AJ Francis, apologize for that. AJ Francis, and then the next day he's gonna be taking on Moose. They're top wrestlers, they're tough guys, they're big men. But remember this, PCO is not human, and he's gonna give it all out, and then he's gonna give it all out and make sure that he's gonna be on top of things. And I don't know what's gonna be the outcome, but I want to bet on PCO for this one.
Oh yeah. And I gotta say as well, after all, what is a moose without its antlers? Come this Sunday, we're all gonna find out. And Moose's antlers is right around his waist. When PCO takes that, we're gonna see what kind of Moose really is after that.
I know, and I hope so, because before that, he's gonna beat 6 guys in the ring for Slammiversary and everything. So, and then the next day it's PCO, man. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. His body on Monday is gonna be really sore, but I don't think that PCO his body's gonna be that sore, because you know why? PCO is not human here. He's not. Man.
And I do know that you have a busy day ahead of you with your own stuff, and of course promoting Slammiversary.
Yeah.
But I do got to ask one more time for the people that are watching this interview at home, how can they actually tune in to TNA Slammiversary? And of course, I do know obviously the pay-per-view is actually sold out. So of course, if you don't have tickets, you're stuck with a television set.
Okay, for Saturday, July 20, if you have no tickets, sorry, nothing. It's going to be jam-packed. It's going to be a pretty nice building, and it's going to be looking good for the people who's going to be watching at home. And then you got to go on TNAWrestling.com, and then go subscribe on the TNA Plus. If you're not sure how to do it, just go on the TNAWrestling.com, and then all the information is going to be out there, because I don't want to misinterpret or missing information. But they got a channel that's called TNA Plus. You got to go subscribe for that. It's cheap monthly. It's really cheap to subscribe and everything. So I'm inviting everybody to subscribe to TNA Plus, and that's the way you're going to be able to see it. And I'm telling you, you're going to see Montreal. It's a beautiful city, and the arena. It's a beautiful arena, and everybody's going to be sitting in that place. It's going to have great seats on the floor, up in the bleacher. The way that the arena is built, and the way the seating and the seat are places, and the way they are, not one single person is going to have a bad seat. Everybody's going to be well seated and everything. It's going to be looking good on TV to see a packed house, live, worldwide, live on the pay-per-view. And then Sunday, we still got a few tickets left. And if you want to have those tickets, if you want to buy some ticket on Sunday, you just got to go on TNAWrestling.com and purchase your ticket on Sunday, because on Sunday, they're going to have a super, super duper show as well, And also, Nick Nemeth is going to be wrestling Ali for the first time ever. So another exclusive match that TNA is going to be giving out to Montreal and for to everybody who's going to be watching on the TV. That will be also an awesome match. And let's not forget also Saturday, Bailey versus Speedball Bailey, hometown crowd versus Ali for the X Division Championship. And also a reminder that if people don't know, if they miss that information, their PCO is going to be, we all know that PCO is going to be wrestling AJ Francis. But AJ Francis stole that international heavyweight belt that used to belong to Quebec. You know, the heritage of the wrestling of Quebec. You know, guys like Dino Bravo was champion, King Tonga, who was Ming for certain people, or Aku, and other great name like Gino Brito, other great name who hold that belt, and then AJ stole it, and now he's the champion. You know, he's claiming that he's going to be he's the international heavyweight champion of that belt, and also he's the internet champion, digital internet champion. But guess what? The two belts going to be on the line. So PCO is going to be fighting for two belts. So AJ Francis, I hope you're ready, because PCO he is. If you think that he's tired of what he did to pack up that arena there, you're mistaking PCO, because PCO is not human. He can be tall, he can be big. Even if he's got his 6 years of NFL football player, try to sack that PCO, it's going to be a hard time. And I'm telling you this, guys, PCO is ready, more than ready. And then also Destro, his creator, is going to be in the corner of PCO. So that's going to be a plus for PCO. That's going to be his energy. That's going to be his support. And also AJ, 4,000 people is going to be screaming for PCO. And if I was him, I would ask TNA to get some extra security to leave the building there, because if PCO wins, let's cross our finger. If he wins those double belt there, I think that Montreal is going to riot that place up.
And also, I do suggest everybody that if you do have tickets, make sure you print them off. That way you have yourself a nice souvenir. But I'm being smart and I'm covering that QR code. You know what I mean?
QR code,
I don't want no one to be jacking my
phone and everything there. But don't worry, the people are ready to receive all that people. They put in some extra people at the door to make sure that people is going to get in time. The door opens on Saturday, 5:30, between 5:30 and 5:45 p.m. The Battle Royale is going to be at 6:30. 7 o'clock, we're going to have 3 TNA pre-show match. And then after that, it's going to be showtime. 8 o'clock, worldwide, Slammiversary. And let's not forget, it's going to be Slammiversary 20. So that's going to be a big thing. The 20th anniversary of Slammiversary. It's the WrestleMania. And also, Jordan Grace, let's not forget, she promises big surprise for that pay-per-view. So I don't know what it is, but apparently it's going to be big. So you guys gotta, if you didn't subscribe, all the people that are listening right now and didn't subscribe to TNA Plus channel. And then if you don't know what it is, go on to TNAWrestling.com and subscribe now, because you don't want to miss what's going to happen on Saturday. Because I guarantee you, that's going to be a pay-per-view to remember for years from now.
And what I'll do, actually, give people an incentive, because I already have TNA Plus, and since individuals, I know it's 2024, money's tight for a lot of people. Each ticket that I bought, I actually received a 20% discount code. So the first person, whether it's live or whatever, if you comment your favorite current TNA wrestler, and I will give you 20% off a 1-year subscription for TNA Plus. That way you can save 20% and get all the amazing pay-per-views coming up, including Slammiversary. So comment your favorite wrestler. Could be anybody, and you got it.
For a cheap price, you're going to get quality. Quality out of there. I don't know what's going on with TNA, but lately they're on fire. You know, they're really on fire. People talk more and more of TNA. Slammiversary was talked and on wrestling website worldwide. I don't know, a big buzz. It's happening for them lately, and I'm super happy and I'm proud for a lot of those hard workers. Let's not forget you guys from Ontario, Josh Alexander, Jody Trett is going to be on.
Yeah.
Is going to be on. And not those Canadians. Those Canadians there to achieve what they're to be part of TNA. It's unbelievable the things that's happening also to them. And let's not forget also Eric Young is from Ontario and everything. He's going to be in town in Montreal for the pay-per-view and the show on Sunday on the TV taping TNA. I'm telling you, Slammiversary is going to be off the hook, but you don't want to miss. If you cannot come, if you don't have tickets for Saturday, please come on Sunday. You're not going to be disappointed. It's going to be off the hook as well. And then it's going to be a great time also on Sunday. But on Sunday, it's going to start earlier. Since it's on a Sunday, the show starts at 5:30 p.m. and the door is going to be opening around 3:30 p.m. So if you say you have work on Monday, I don't know, I'm going to be tired or not, you have no excuse. They put it earlier for the people to come. So get your ticket now on TNAWrestling.com for the TV taping on TNA Sunday. It's going to be important because you know what? After Slammiversary, they still got good things that's going to happen on that show, on that TV taping on Sunday. I'm promising you this. It's going to be wild. Wild. I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, Carl, thank you so much, man, for giving not only myself but the station a bit of your time, man. It was an absolute honor speaking with you, helping to further promote Slammiversary that's happening tomorrow. I mean, I bought tickets when it first came out. They first got announced, so I mean, just hearing that it's tomorrow, I still haven't quite soaked it in, man. So, as a wrestling fan, I'm excited, man. I got tickets for all of it. It's gonna be one hell of a great day. Not only Sunday, yeah. I'm actually, it's crazy. I'm bringing my mother-in-law with my wife on the Slammiversary. So then we're driving, then we're going to be driving back after the pay-per-view. Then I'm going to hop right in bed, sleep. Coming back the next day, yep. Wow. It's going to be like go home, sleep, shower, wake up, shower, put on clothes, and boop, back to Montreal.
Remember, the door's going to be open at 5:30, between 5:30 and 5:45, but come early. Come early for your seat.
Oh yeah.
Because it's gonna be wild, and if people want to see what's happening before a pay-per-view starts, see all the people gathering there in front of the building and everything, the energy is gonna be starting right there at the opening of the door. People is gonna be stoked, gonna be excited and everything, and that's gonna be great for everybody. I'm telling you, you're not gonna be disappointed. That, of course, I'm preaching from my hometown, but for the people who's gonna be watching worldwide, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be excited. But once again, TNAWrestling.com, TNA Plus. Subscribe now. And even my friend here, DJ Immortal, just set a 20% discount off on the subscription. What do you want more? What do you want more to have quality wrestling? Subscribe now on TNA Plus and get your 20%. If you bought a ticket, use that ticket to get your 20% because after this they're gonna keep going up. I don't see them going down because they got so many things going on right now. I don't know, man. The buzz is there, and then when a wrestler or a performer feel that buzz, that helps them out to, give everything that they got inside of them to the crowd and for the people who will be watching on TV worldwide.
But again, Carl, thank you so much, man. Hopefully tomorrow we can actually meet up and actually meet in person and shake one another's hands. But for now, definitely have yourself a phenomenal night. And of course, kick ass in that Battle Royale, man. I'll be up there cheering for Carl Leduc to be tossing people left, right, and center.
Thank you. And my dad's going to be there also. And also one more thing, that the daughter of Joe Leduc, she flew from Atlanta. It's going to be also sitting front row, and she especially came from Atlanta for this event. You know, even her, her dad is Joe Leduc and everything. She watched wrestling, but she felt the buzz all the way up to Atlanta and everything. And I just want to give also a shout out to my wrestling friend Nick Sullivan, that is going to be coming from Syracuse. We're going to be having people coming out from the States. We're going to be having people coming out from Ontario. We're having people coming out from Chicago. We're having people coming out about the 5-hour drive from Montreal in Quebec, in the province of Quebec. We're having people from the from Ontario and Quebec to the States that's coming. And I will not be surprised that we're going to see people that will be coming out internationally, out of the States and Canada, will be live and will be sitting in the arena to watch that pay-per-view. It's going to be tremendous. Don't miss it. If you don't have your ticket, again, I'm repeating myself a lot because it's important, because those people put a lot of hard work. TNA Wrestling.com. Go subscribe on their channel, TNA Plus. You will not be disappointed. And just like my friend DJ Mordo said, go get that 20% off.
Most definitely, Carl. Thank you so much again, man. Have yourself a phenomenal night, and I shall see you tomorrow for Slammiversary.
Yes, thank you for all the listener. Thank you again for the invitation there. And for the people that don't know me, who knows me, my name is Carl Leduc, and I'm the wrestling terrorist of Quebec. And I'm the size that hurts. See you tomorrow. See you on Sunday. And watch it live on TV. It's going to be spectacular. Thank you.
You're most certainly welcome, Carl. Have yourself a great night. Great afternoon, I should say.
Yeah, no problem. We're going to keep going. After this, we're going to still continue answering some questions on the social media and make things happen too. So it'll be a great night for everybody tomorrow.
See you then, Carl. Thank you so much again.
See you there, guys. Thank you very much.